The Gina and Maddie podcast.
Let's talk TV. Bit of Dawson's Creek. Bit of a guilty pleasure of mine. Joining us in the studio is Pablo Miller, radio presenter, podcaster and TV commentator. Good morning, Pablo.
Oh, good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
Welcome to the family.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's great to be here on the Central Coast. And I've got to say, my daughter is running around the house probably right now going, Gina and Maddie. She loves it. She loves it.
That's cute.
What time's the doctor's appointment? Pablo, this is what I love about people who have such a passion for things, is to find out where it came from. Your passion, TV?
It is now.
So you must have been a big TV fan as a kid.
Huge.
Talk to us a little bit about your childhood and TV, just before we get into what we should be watching.
Look, my mum's going to be horrified that I have to say this, but I had no commercial TV growing up until year 7.
Just ABC?
ABC. My favourite show was Guardian Australia and Monkey Magic. So I had a little bit of goodness
Monkey
in there.
Magic's
Yeah, there was some good stuff back in the day.
But I've completely revolted now against my parents.
You have, haven't you?
Okay, so talk to us. I know I find myself just mindlessly going through, should we watch this, watching trailers, left, right and centre on the streaming service.
You waste so much time trying to find something to watch.
You've got to have the 5-minute rule. You've got to set an alarm. And between you and your partner, you've got to decide something. Because I'm the same. I sit there and I watch every trailer.
Yeah.
And then an hour goes by and like, we haven't seen
You
anything.
could have nearly finished watching a movie.
Yeah.
And then I put something on and 5 minutes later I'm asleep.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you've got some hits and some misses and some maybes for us.
Yes.
Let's start with the hits. What should we be watching that is absolute gold at the moment?
Okay. High Potential. Disney Plus is the must-watch show of summer. For me, it's like a first cup of coffee in the morning. It's heartwarming. It hits the spot, makes you feel all warm, gooey on the inside. It's brilliant. Katie Olsen, she was the star of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and she is an absolute gem in this. It's like that good cop, bad cop, odd couple combination. They solve crimes. It's very B grade, but it's that good kind of B grade.
I've watched the first couple of episodes of this and we actually love it. It has a little bit of Hallmark cheese about it, but it is very good as well. So she plays, it's like a highly intelligent, she plays Morgan, so highly intelligent, IQ of 160 plus, who was a cleaner, who then the cops get into, because she was cleaning the police station. She helped solve a crime while she was cleaning and now she works at the police station.
And it's really nice because you can drop in and drop out. Right? You can watch one episode. You don't have to get too attached to it. There's an underlying story that sort of runs through it, but you can dip in and out. You don't have to, watch every single minute of it.
And that's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
Called High Potential.
High Potential. Every Wednesday it's dropping at the moment.
And by that you mean it's almost like that Law and Order style of every episode starts and it has a finish. Like it wraps up all on its own and then it picks up again. All right, so that's the hit. What's a maybe?
I'm so disappointed. I had such high hopes for this, but I was very, very disappointed. Apple Cider Vinegar. It's number 1 on Netflix right now. I don't know, have you two watched it all?
These two are watching it. I haven't started it yet.
Okay, look,
You're about to put me off watching it.
It was filmed in Melbourne, so I was very excited. Netflix doing an Australian production. If you don't know, you've somehow lived under a rock. Belle Gibson, the story behind that, whole pantry. Did she not have cancer? The whole saga that we don't need to get into. And it sort of dives into her upbringing, but it's so scattered. It's timelines are all over the place. They bring in a lot of different characters, side characters. I don't feel like it really hit the mark because in these shows you kind of want to know why did she do it, and I think you're left asking more questions than being answered.
And so it's not a documentary style. It's an actress that's playing her.
Yeah, exactly. Caitlin Diver, she stars as Belle. She's the only American actually in the show, and she's great. I can't fault her performance.
She nails the Australian accent.
She does.
Yeah,
she does.
Because it's not an easy one for American actors to do, and like you get lost in it. Someone's like, oh, she's Australian. Oh no, that's right. She's actually doing an Aussie accent, and she's doing it really well.
So I think this would have been better just as a movie, or of course we need that good Netflix documentary style.
Yeah. Great. All right. And lastly, what else?
Look, we don't want to waste too much airtime on this one. Okay. This is shocking. So avoid this at all costs. I hate to call it out, but Prime Target on Apple TV. Avoid. It's like being stuck in a maths class. There's conspiracy around prime numbers. It's awful. I watched the first episode. I decided I'd watch the second to give it a chance, and no.
It didn't get any better?
No.
So it's a thriller.
I don't know what it is. I watched it, so you all don't have to.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you, Pablo. Well, there you go. The hit is High Potential on Disney Plus. Apple Cider Vinegar on Netflix and Prime Target on Apple TV. Give it a miss. Do you want to come back next week? Let us know what's going on.
See you then.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Pablo.
Gina and Maddie.
This is where I go through Google Trends and just find out what the most Google search things and the news that's been rolling around in the last 24 hours in and around the coast. Sam Kerr tops the list. A London jury has found Sam Kerr not guilty of racially harassing a police officer. Ms. Kerr admitted calling Constable Stephen Lovell stupid and white in January in 2023, but denied intending to harass him. A 12-person jury took about 4 hours to deliberate before acquitting the Aussie soccer star. So that's all over
Thank
for Sam Kerr.
goodness.
Thank God that's ended. Absolutely. Not her finest hour, you know, being a bit under the weather, tired and emotional in the lock-up there. But like I've said on the show the last couple of days, I watched the full 27 minutes of that body cam. And apart from a bit of the swearing and stuff. It just looked like there was two women who were probably a bit terrified about what happened in the back of a cab. And anyway, that's all over. Done and dusted for Sam. Get back to potentially making a return for the Matildas
Wouldn't that
soon
be good?
and being a mum. All right, Michelle's Patisserie. You know Michelle's Patisserie? I think there's one in Gosford and Woy Woy. Well, popular bakery and cafe chain Michelle's Patisserie will be shutting down as its parent company reveals plans to convert the stores into its other brands. Michelle's no longer.
Oh, because that used to be a good place to go and get a birthday cake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the mud cake was
Oh,
epic.
yeah.
But then I look at it and I go, there are so many good sort of locally owned bakeries doing better stuff than the mass-produced sort of
Agreed.
Well,
franchise
says he
stuff.
who's
so-
actually a baker who
Well, that's
makes really good cakes.
Yeah, and I think if you can support the
Totally. Support your
non-franchise
locals.
joints and support the locals, it's better. So it looks like maybe those stores in West Gosford and Woy Woy could be either turning into a Donut King, a Gloria Jean's, a Brumbies, or a Crust Gourmet Pizza because they're also owned by the same people who
really?
own Michelle's Patisserie.
Oh, bring on another
Loaded.
crust pizza. How good's crust pizza?
Oh, I'm a bit of a donut guy.
Are you?
Donut King, cinnamon donuts,
God,
six-pack.
And you know how they only make, because when I was young, the cinnamon donuts used to be sitting in the window, but now they make them to order. So
they're
I'm
hot.
happy to wait that like 1 to 2 minutes, watch it
how
plop
good
out of
is
the
it?
dropper into the oil, there, fried up, into the salt, the sugar
The
and
brown
cinnamon.
sugar.
Oh, get
and then when
in
you
me.
Yum.
pull it apart and it's steaming on the inside.
I was walking through the
God.
shops the other day and I could smell the donuts and I said to myself, just because you can smell one doesn't mean you should go and buy one.
You should. You should treat yourself. Everyone deserves to treat themselves to a cinnamon donut every now and then. Oh my! I reckon they go around and sprinkle some of the cinnamon sugar around the shop.
shops.
So you just walk in. We used to do
Your
that.
followers.
We used to do that in the bakery when it was Easter time. So we used to go and get
Did you?
what was called the bun spice for the hot cross buns. And as the apprentice, it was my job to go in the surrounding streets and spray on the trees.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, so the
no.
people would 100%. So you'd walk out and go, oh gosh, I can smell the. You know what? I feel like a hot cross
That
bun.
would work.
And they did, absolutely.
Oh my God.
Sorry,
Guerrilla marketing.
I can't believe it.
Yeah. Let's move on. Xavier Cooks. I wasn't sure who Xavier Cooks was, but he's certainly been cooking something, allegedly. Sydney Kings forward Xavier Cooks has been suspended from the NBL effective immediately. A statement from the NBL, which is the National Basketball League, and the Sydney Kings confirmed the 2023 league MVP, which you learnt yesterday was?
Motivating vocational brother.
Most valuable player. This is what's the dicey bit. Had an adverse analytical finding of a potential violation of the national anti-doping policy. So that seems like legal speak for he's been taking some juice. That's what they found allegedly.
A reverse what?
Huh? An adverse. Oh my God. An adverse. I'm still stuck on MVP. An adverse analytical finding of a potential violation of the Australian National Anti-Doping Policy, quote unquote. The rest of it's kind of pretty boring. It's now progressing in accordance with all the governing bodies. No further comment will be made by the athlete, NBL, Sydney Kings, and we request the privacy of all parties involved. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have read it on the radio. Who cares? Okay.
Too late.
Yeah, well, it's news. Now, this is to finish things off here at 6:26. Valentine's Day, Friday.
Have you gone shopping yet?
I'm not sure where I'm sitting. No, I buy my two girls a rose and my wife a rose.
I love that.
I think it's an early relationship thing.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day, the more I think about
Yeah.
it. It's like when you're dating, maybe you've been together a couple of years, it's a good excuse.
You got to be careful though. Like this is a good chance for you if you are in long-term relationships like we all are, for you to get yourself in a lot of trouble. Because if you go, oh, we don't do that anymore, and one does, you just got to figure that out for sure if the other one is going to do something.
Well, that happened to me Christmas when we said we weren't doing presents. And I ended up buying Bella a present, and I was in the bad books for getting her a present because she didn't get me anything.
Yeah, so you have to mean what you say.
Okay, so for Valentine's Day, Domino's, because when I think love, I think a box with dots. They have launched a pepperoni-inspired perfume to entice pizza lovers this Valentine's Day. So it's called the limited edition Eau de Toilette, is a nod to pepperoni passion pizza and is said to have irresistible notes of spice, pepper, and a woody, warm base.
That's the same as you spraying your hot cross buns everywhere. Right?
Spraying the trees with pepperoni. Nice. Happy Valentine's Day.
Nothing says romance like a little bit of pepperoni behind the ears, does it?
The Gina and Maddie Podcast.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.